I hope that all of you are fine at your respective places. And today's discussion is going to be on legislative control, which is a very important tool of integrated pest management. So before we start the discussion, I must say that this presentation on this video is purely an effort to help you, the students, keeping in view the present unprecedented situation. And whatever the slides I'll present in here have been compiled from various online resources and textbooks. Therefore, there is no question of claiming the copyright for this video, at least from my side. So let's start the discussion on legislative control. Now, in your graduation study also, you were having one course which was integrated pest management, and there you have got to know what is legislative control, and I hope that you remember those days, those classes. Still, what is legislative control? It is the enactment of laws to regulate the entry, establishment, and spread of the pests. Because we, the human beings, have often realized that when insects and other animals appear as pests in epidemic form, they become formidable enemies and in most cases cannot be controlled with human and individual efforts. When a pest like the desert locust appear in a country, it becomes a national calamity, and the entire population and the government of the country have to make a united effort to meet the threat. Therefore, to prevent the entry of the pest from the other countries or even within the countries, the pockets which are not having the incidence of a particular pest which may be present in other pockets of the country, the prevention can only be made by enacting some laws, by implementing the laws in such a way that the parts or the commodities from the places where a particular pest is present are regulated not to enter to the new geographical location of that particular country or from one country to another country. So this is especially important for the exotic pests or the foreign pests. I mean, the pests which are not actually having the origin or are not the native to a particular country, but there is a chance due to global market and global, your exchange of the products, there can be a chance that accidental importation can happen. So, to prevent those pests at the entry point or by taking the measures to prevent those in the past itself, can help the other country to not having that particular pest, because once it gets entry into the new geographical location or the new country, it can be devastating for that country's economy and the agriculture. So I hope that you have understood that what is the importance of this control. Now let's quickly see what are the pests India is having now, but actually India is not having the origin of these pests. Some of the examples you know already, and some other examples are cited here. For example, woolly apple aphid, Sanjo scale. Both of these are the pests of apple you know. Then cottony cushion scale, Escherichia purchasei. This pest also is not having the origin of India. Similarly, potato tuber moth, diamond back moth, serpentine leaf miner, list is long, coffee berry borer, spiraling whitefly, silver leaf whitefly, the coconut idiophyte mite, Asteria gueronosis, very important pest of coconut nowadays in South India. Then papaya mealybug, you know it already. India has done the classical biological control against this pest. Then a very recent threat to India, that is fall armyworm, which has entered into this country in 2018 itself. Now let's quickly see what are the important pests which are there in other countries, but India is free from those pests. Classical example is Mediterranean fruit fly, Ceratidis capitata. Then grapevine, phylloxera is also not there in India till date. Cotton boll weevil, Anthraconomus grandis, it is also not there in India till date. Then cordling moth of apple, India is also free from this pest. Now, some of the pest legislations, let's quickly go through. In 1905, the first Quarantine Act, which was there under Federal Insect Pest Act against Sanjo scale. Then in 1912, if you are recalling the class where we discussed the history of integrated pest management, there we discussed that USA was the first country to pass the Plant Quarantine Act in 1912. Then India enacted passed the Law of Destructive Insect Pests Act, DIPA. In 1919, Madras Agricultural Pests and Diseases Act was passed, and the Insecticide Act is known to all of you. In India, it was passed in 1968. Now, there are different classes of quarantine, and the first category or class of quarantine is foreign quarantine. That means where the legislation is there to prevent the introduction of new pests, diseases, and weeds from the other countries or the foreign countries. So some of the examples where the India puts the strict laws not to import the sugarcane seeds, because there is a great chance that if you import the sugarcane seeds from the other countries, the sugar weevil can accidentally be imported, and it can cause a very high damage to the sugarcane industry of the India. Similarly, the coffee seeds also you cannot import from the other countries, because there is a high chance that the coffee berry borer can enter into our country. And the third example which I have cited here is you also cannot bring the sugarcane and cotton seeds, because as I mentioned that till date India is free from the cotton boll weevil. So not to take the chance to accidentally import the cotton boll weevil, you cannot bring the cotton seeds from the other countries. Now, another category is domestic quarantine. I mean, this term itself is indicating that when some laws are there, some legislations are there regarding prohibition of bringing the materials within the different parts of country. For example, we cannot bring the banana plants or the banana sapling from the Palani hills in India. On the right hand side, what is this one? This is banana bunchit of daisies. It is very much prevalent in Palani hills. So we cannot bring the banana saplings from that particular Palani hills to prevent the spread of this particular banana bunchit of daisies. Now another category where the legislations are there regarding the prevention of the spread of maybe an established pest which is already established in some pockets of the country. So in that case, the laws are there to take some necessary and effective measures to suppress the population at those particular sites and places. So here is an example where the actions are to be taken against the red hairy caterpillar of groundnut. So the collection of pupae in summer plowing, putting light traps, hand picking of egg and larva, spreading of leaves in the fields so that the hairy caterpillars can congregate inside those leaves and those are collected and destroyed. So these actions and these measures are compulsory wherever this red hairy caterpillar of groundnut is established in India. Now, this is another example, and this photo is the photo of the stem borer of coffee. So this act is still in force in Salem, Coimbatore, Mathura and Nilgiris, where all the plants are to be removed, all the coffee plants, those must be removed and destroyed by 15th of December every year, so that the carryover of this stem borer of coffee can be prevented from one season to another. So these are the measures which are there through laws. So I hope that I have been able to explain the things, but again I request all of you to go through the the textbook Integrated Pest Management Concepts and Approaches, written by G.S. Dhaliwal and Ramesh Arora. And even you can also go through the e-course Insect Ecology and Integrated Pest Management developed by TNAU IC here. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.